right, folks, welcome to Right Voice Radio here on Right News America. I'm your host, Paul Laramie. And today we're going to talk about this crazy anti-Semitism that has sprung up out of nowhere. I mean, people on social media, they have these trolls with fake names that are going into people's profiles and posting anti-Semitic and pro-Nazi stuff in an attempt to link them to this stuff and call them Nazis. And the people that are doing it to people that are Jewish. I mean, this is ridiculous. And I don't know if this stems because of the horrible attacks that are happening to Israel right now by Hamas, and the fact that our government, which this is something, folks, that appalls me beyond belief, that our government is not taking any action. President Biden should have immediately ordered airstrikes on Hamas. We should have immediately retaliated on Hamas before Israel even thought about it. Those are one of our greatest allies. And, I mean, they fired over 300 rockets. I mean, now I have to check. The numbers are probably way higher now at Israel, and through the grace of God, they, were able to sustain whatever level of normalcy they were able to sustain. I mean, for people living out there, if you don't know, that's been a war zone for years. I mean, the Arabs in the quote-unquote Palestinian movement, which from the investigation that I've done through, many biblical scholars that I've questioned and talked to, Palestine is a fictional country. Palestine never existed, but I'm not here to debate or talk about which countries existed. I want to get back to Palestine has been attacking Israel for years and years and years and years. It's been a never-ending war. And we have been one of Israel's greatest allies for as long as I can remember. And now the United States remains silent as Joe Biden stays out of the conflict. I'm not even sure if he's made a statement yet. If he did, I would assume it would be, why don't we all come together and talk about peace? Like, how can you talk about peace when someone's firing 300 rockets into your country? If Mexico or Canada fired 300 rockets into the United States, I doubt we'd be willing to sit down at the table and have a talk with them. So why do we expect Israel to have a talk with these hostile Palestinians that are firing off missiles into their country? I mean, does Israel not have a right to defend itself? Is President Biden part of this whole anti-Semitic movement that seems to be spreading? I've never seen, then again, I'm 41 years old, okay? So I wasn't around for World War II or any of that stuff. But I've never personally seen so much hate on a group of people that practice the religion of Judaism. Coming from people, I mean, that you see and that you know, and they make these comments, and you're like, what? Are you kidding me? Like, I want to make it, extremely clear that I stand with Israel 100%. Not only do I stand with Israel, I am praying for God's chosen people. I hope he gives Netanyahu the wisdom, the restraint, and the power to do what he has to do to make sure that the people over in Israel are protected, So, yeah, guys, I mean, it's just something that has really been bothering me. I mean, some of the comments that I see online, if you make a comment on Right Voice Radio or Right News America or any platform that we have control over or have a reach to, you will not only be deleted and blocked, but you will be ousted. If you're using your fake names doing that, we're going to find out who you are, and we're going to tell the people who you are. This is America, and you should have a right to feel how you want to feel. You want to be a hateful bastard, go ahead, but we're also not going to tolerate it. We're not going to accept it. And just point blank, I don't like it. I don't like it. It makes me upset. It angers me to some degree. So I'm not going to give it too much time and waste too much energy on it. Talking about it on multiple shows or getting into it at great length. But I just wanted to talk about that and let people know that there's these anti-Semitic trolls out there that are going out there and trying to post stuff on your page and do things and then link you to it. So if I were you, I would definitely make sure you guys are watching what's going out there. Pay attention to anything that you have control over. And guys, again, oh man, any of this behavior will not be tolerated on any of our platforms. So first and foremost, I just want to say that we're praying for Israel. That this is a horrific thing, guys. I mean, I was driving on the way to the Republican Chamber of Commerce event the other night, and I was listening to stories from Israeli stations, and I was almost in tears. I mean, this is horrible that these people have to endure this. I mean, imagine that you're not living where you're living. You're not able to go outside and just have a great day. I mean, bombs are going off, and you're in your house. You know what I mean? You drive to the store, and your road might blow up in front of you. You never know if somebody's going to fire in a rocket, or if a terrorist from Hamas is going to come into your grocery store and cut somebody's head off and shoot a bunch of people because you happen to believe in Judaism. Because you're a Jew and not a Palestinian. I mean, imagine that is your life. That's your country. That's where you live. I mean, you gotta feel for these people. I mean, these people, Israelis are some of the toughest people. They've built some of the best defenses by the grace of God. I can't explain it to you guys. I mean, it's like if Canada and Mexico were both firing rockets at us right now, what would we do? How would life be? How would life be when you're at work and you get the call that your kid's school was hit by a Scud missile or something, from Canada? I mean, how do you feel? And this is something that these people have been dealing with for hundreds of years. Hundreds of years. And then on top of that, Joe Biden, who, of course, I wasn't his biggest fan, but the fact that he's spineless enough to distance himself from God's chosen people in Israel and not to stand up and order airstrikes on Hamas immediately sickens me to my stomach. It shakes me to my core, folks. My mind is baffled. I mean, actually, it's not, because I know who these people are. These people hate Israel. These people are the same people that put Ilhan Omar in public office. So we as people have to stand together and make sure that this is not tolerated. If you see somebody making a remark, you say something to them. You tell them, hey, we're not going to tolerate that. And you stand up for your friends. We can't stand here and do nothing and allow these people to take over and run this country and ruin this country. And blatantly, I mean, this is blatant racism. I just, Joe Biden is, I don't know why he's so anti-Jewish. He's anti-Israeli for some reason. And it sickens me to my core, and it's spreading through the population of America. Either that or these anti-Semitic, I want to say bastages. These anti-Semitic bastages have been here this whole time, and they're just coming out of the woodwork now. So, keep an eye out, guys. Make sure you stand up for what's right. And, hey, we're here at Right Voice Radio. If you guys got any stories or anything that's going on, you let us know. We'll talk about it on the air. If you got something, we can interview and talk to you on the air. If you got something, that's noteworthy and something that we would want to talk about. So feel free to contact us. Send us an email at newsroom. That's newsroom at rightnewsamerica.com. That's newsroom at rightnewsamerica.com. And remember, guys, we all are one race, the human race. It doesn't matter if you're black, white, brown, Asian. I mean, it doesn't matter what religion you believe in. If you're Christian, Jew, Muslim, I mean, whatever. We are all one race, the human race. And I implore you, reach out and help someone else today. Carry your neighbor's groceries out of their car. Tell someone they look nice. Smile at someone you don't know. It makes a difference, folks. Remember, like I said, we're all one race, and only together can we succeed. I'm Paul Laramie, and this is Right Voice Radio. Only on Right News America at rightnewsamerica.com.